Yeah, here we go. And then usually what I like to do is share that out. Let me just refresh here. There we go. Is there a live stream I can see? There it is right there. I'll tag you in that one on Facebook. B. There we go. Aho. Kamachita noigwa. And I gotta move everything around so I can see if there's chats and things. And there we go. Yeah. All right, we'll get fired up here. We're back a little bit. We're getting started at a more proper time here this week, despite everything. And we're joined once again by Wes Fineday and Kenanas Kuntanan Nimoso Agape ay Witapimian notes Miasinanma. It's going to be a good session tonight, so I'll just give everybody maybe a minute to fire up, and I'll do the same thing I always do. I'll just double check the stream and whatnot. If you're on TikTok or something, let me know the audio's coming through okay as we get fired up here. And what we'll do is we'll go back about what we usually do. We're 20 minutes, just about 20 minutes into the story. Atsimwan Payak. So I recorded this story with Wes back at the end of August. Was the first it's the very first story that we recorded. And there's actually quite a few stories in here, but we'll do what we normally do and go back about a minute. We're just about 20 minutes into this story, so we'll go back. It's about 18 minutes and change here, and we'll just play through and listen a little bit. We'll go right about there. And it'll give us a chance to get caught up to where we were. How?
Maga namoi mtone sapo kasapon sto tame ki go pake te keise mage ga ki spin ata ka po ke mo se hona ke wana tau ko ekta he go po kana ta moto ta ta atayo kan o sam ki spin sigo chui hikawin asko ni ta oivita ha kita ta kom mi awe ko se e gwa ki spine ga yo taha tāke e at. Awina mā gekta. Awina ekta he ka nau etiket. Na moi ki koe na mauiak. E gwa he mi che tiko ke. Ki koe ak. Ka papam as tik mana. E matse tik. Maga na moi ke tina i se mios tik. E gwa matoan tina anto i gisi mamsiho tik e gwa ho maia. Mo cepak ni cek cesko kika pe o wai ni cek maga egi papam ne pe maya cek ma.
So that's where we left off. I just saw one thing. Mananto Cameron's joining us from Facebook. I just missed one thing on that last one. Let me grab it real quick.
Ego matoan tina anto egi si mamsiho cek ego ho maya.
Mamiseho tik. All right. And
Mo cepak ni cek cesko kika pe o wai ni cek maga egi papam ne pe maya cek ma.
Ne pe maya tik, that was nearby, right?
Any Maya chick means they were ready and waiting.
Ready and waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But listening to something there?
Oh, is it not coming through for you?
Muluta.
Oh, let me have a quick look and see what I got going on here. If I play this, does it come through?
Mo chipak ni chik chesko ki
That's not coming through for you, eh? That was working a minute ago.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, let me have another quick look here. Now I get out my wiring diagram and see if I can figure out what I did. Tisqua.
ka pe o wai ni chik maga egi
Output to Zoom. Tisqua, and I'll just double check that my audio for you. Ah, here we go. My audio got messed up. Can you still hear me, Wes?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, now let's try this.
mo chipak ni chik ches
Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. There's if I showed you there's this picture on the internet of this guy. It's from a show or something trying to explain a complex concept, and it's just a whole bunch of red yarn. That's kind of like what my sound setup is to make all of this work.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, let me just play that last chunk here.
mo chipak ni chik chesko ki ka pe o wai ni chik maga egi papam ne pe maya chik ma
Egi papam nepe mayatik.
Yeah.
What
They
a
were not yet allowed to come back, but they were ready and waiting.
yeah, interesting. Would you say waiting nearby? Does that make sense?
It's more a state of readiness than any particular place.
Ah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's grab another chunk here. Let's grab another chunk. We got about yeah, we've got about maybe 10 minutes left, so we got a ways to go. We'll just keep going here.
o ye go maga siko tu he a po ha ko so nto ne ka ma go ikot
Au yakuma.
Kasisigotuihit.
Say that again.
Auyako makasisigotuihit. Anyone who was surprised or startled.
Ah. Anyone who was surprised or startled. I'll just play it. There's a something at the end there. Let me play it again.
o ye go maga siko tu he a po ha ko so nto ne ka ma go ikot
Po. Kosuin. Play that last chunk again.
a po ha ko so nto ne ka ma go ikot
Mitunega magoikut.
Yeah, magohikut. You know, when it's ahpu ahkusoen or illness, mitune e magohikut is at them. They're in the battle with illness, eh?
Hmm.
But a lot of that, has to. I mean, in my experience, that's how we. How do you say? Itahman to be graded. You know how much how developed is your sense of intellectual self-control, or are you easily startled or shamed or embarrassed or afraid to talk of certain things because you've been conditioned by a society which demands that you give up your free will and conform to their demands to become an acceptable member of their society.
Hmm.
And so it intrudes on one of the first tenets of indigenous spiritual understandings,
Hmm.
where your free will is your free will and cannot be taken.
Mm.
Aha.
How did you, that last word, awi ako maga sisigutsui apo ako so in mitune ka makohikut. What was that last word? Ka
You could
makohikut?
say, is besieged by severe illnesses or an illness,
Mm.
where it's a life or death matter. Itahmito ni ka magoykoin
Ah,
pusuin.
besieged.
That is the point at which you live or die.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Next chunk here.
Ka, ka, ka tapasito hu tatsakuma. Ekta
Ka tapasit uho utakuma.
Uhi.
ka tapasito hu tatsakuma.
Utakuma.
Yeah, uhi utachakoma, and whose soul fled. Etapasiet.
Yeah. Ka tapasit. Yeah. Okay. Next chunk here.
Ekta mane kwa ragi mamsito tahtoma. Atayokan.
Ego tamana. Ka gi mamsito ta. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Uma tayukan.
Okay, you run that back.
Yeah.
Ekta mane kwa ragi mamsito tahtoma. Atayokan.
And it was then that the spirits would be relied upon.
Mm.
He would be sought for their help.
Yeah. Let me just, there's one more bit in there I missed. Let me just run through it one more time.
Ekta mane kwa ragi mamsito tahtoma. Atayokan.
Equa.
It
And
was at that time. Ekotahmane kwahkaki pimmamsito tahtawa atayohkan.
mm,
It was at that time that we would then rely on the spirits and spiritual power.
yeah. Wow. All right. I'll come back to that. Mamsito that. Next little chunk here.
Wasam peagoa po. Ka peito tamago ya kiskweo.
Po. What was that last bit?
Pia
peito.
kwa po.
Yeah.
Kagi pe ito tamaga uya peak iskweo. And you could pia kwa po. And at one time, or even once, they brought a woman to us.
We're getting into that story. Let me just, I missed that one word one here. One sec.
Wasam peagoa po. Ka peito tamago ya kiskweo.
Tuhtamagoyak.
Itu tatamakawiyak. Kagipe itu tatamakawiyak. Who was brought to us.
Itu tatamagoyak. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'll try not to get distracted with the interesting words too much. I didn't know you could say that. Itu tatamago. Well, that would make sense because,
Yeah. Po,
yeah.
now I can give you something. Itu tatamau awa. ut ituhtatamaw uma, someone. Take
Mm,
this to someone. And they could say, Egipe ituhtatamakaw yanoma.
mm-hmm.
It was brought to
It was
me.
brought to me. Yeah. Huh, that's cool.
It was Ubered to me.
So that's how you say Uber. If you're just tuning in, that's how you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, right on. Got a few folks tuning in. I see, right on. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from tonight. Yeah. Tanto Utsikiwa. All right, next chunk.
Tanta to ki ko ya he gi aswaso I tui awe. Ki
Tantahto
Yeah.
ikwaya egi asiwasoyet uyawik. There were many entities lodged in her body.
Lodged in her body. Did I get that one? Tanta to kigwaya egi asu wasoyit.
Or within her. And that's, what that describes is a case of possession.
Mm.
And again, that is about your free will. Kiseh tamasa win. Mamo tawi mau kagimi ko ya. Maga ki spin ki ko imito ne. Kisago tame gun. So squats kitipame gun. That becomes, if you develop a fixation, a fascination, or an unhindered interest in something, eweko, you have you have traded your free will for that fascination.
Mm.
And I mean, it's not to say you should not be interested in things, but what we should be doing is balancing our interest in things with our and viewing it through our spiritual, philosophical worldview and filter and philosophy.
Ah.
Metonika sapon stohtame ki koi kispin e pakusemo.
Hmm. Yeah. We got some Joshua from Instaguan, Geesick, Fox Lake, Cree Nation. Trevor, hope I'm saying this right. Wichigan Lake. Crystal, originally from Poundmaker, but living in Phoenix. Right on. Colin, I don't know if I could say this. Titibeneo Zibing. And Horst from LLRIB, but tuning in from Ottawa. Leslie from, I hope I could say this right, Muskopatung, but living in Calgary. Right on. How, kitam skat na wow, mia singapi, tagosini ekakyo, mittenenimiwe tin, ay anuts, kegapm witap makawak, ay nimosum, kimosumno, Wes. I Mahikan Watsi, Treaty 5, tuning in from Calgary. All right, we got a good crowd tonight. Let's do a little bit more here.
Maganda mo yo tatahuma. Mito ne mani gi ko atake he te isquest so ngiti ko nan kan gata yo kanak.
I got that first bit, Maga Namoyo Tatsakuma.
Which is related to the prior statement about there were different entities in her body, but not her own soul.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
Yeah.
Yeah, her own soul had been evicted out of her body, and so these other entities that work seeking to find a place to reside and do not work for Creator will jump at any opportunity to move into anywhere that they see a soul that's too weak to defend themselves and they can evict or simply move in with,
Mm.
or yes, that's yeah.
Yeah. Let me get this next little chunk here.
Mitone manigi ko tage hete isku.
Mitunimana. Egi.
Kakwata hit.
Kakwa. Dagi hit.
Hit.
Ah.
Kakwata hit.
Dagi hit.
Yes.
Let me play it again. Just qua.
Mitone manigi ko tage hete isku so ngiti ko nan kan gata yo kadak.
And she was a little girl, we were told by the spirits. She was severely abused when she was a little girl, we were told by the spirits. Is that entire statement.
Hmm. Isque. Let me just get that last little bit there. And then I want to look up a couple words.
Mitone manigi ko tage hete isku so ngiti ko nan kan gata yo kadak.
What was it after Isquesis o te?
Niki itikunanak. Niki
Oh, we were told.
itikunanak.
Itegunanak, we were told.
Atayokanak by the spirits.
Let me just double check that I have everything there.
Mitone manigi ko tage hete isku so ngiti ko nan kan gata yo kadak.
Okay. I believe that has it. Itegunanak. Yeah. Thank you, Dorothy. Dorothy Thunder. Tagoteo.
Mista he. Wisa ge tamo ene kiat.
We sage damuin. Would that be like
Painful emotional memories.
she had painful emotional memories, would you say?
Yeah, many.
Egi Hayat, I think that's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Ektahan muhtigagi ohti puehte itoma hotta tsahkoma.
It was from there that her own soul left. Run that again.
Ektahan muhtigagi ohti puehte itoma hotta tsahkoma.
Eputahan anma chikaki chisipwehtate. And it was from that her soul left.
Okay. I just got to grab the Cree for that one. Jiskwa.
Ektahan muhtig.
Sanma. Ekuta. Anma. Oh.
Ektahan muhtigagi ohti puehte.
Otsigagi. Otsisipuite.
Ektahan muhtigagi ohti puehte itoma hotta tsahkoma.
Otse, sipui, teet. Tsahkuma, tsahkuma. I don't think they.
Tatsahkoma.
Oh, tsahkuma. Yeah. Let me just check that one spot.
Se puede teitoma, hota tahkoma.
Uma. I thought it was ohe, but you said uma. Yeah.
Yeah, and one could, I mean, either one would fit, but it would be descriptive of different things. Tapskuts or he would be directly about her own soul. Ekutahuma, it was from this time or place or that her soul left.
Mm-hmm. So when you say
You know?
oma in that instance, you're like you're indicating the event specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than her soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. I Ed Ehrman's tuning in from Saskatoon. D6 says, "Are you creating the pages you're creating or updating the website?" I don't fully understand the question, Gisik. We're transcribing right now, so basically this is a story we recorded with Wes. Well, there's a few stories here, but we've been recording stories with Wes here, who's joined us tonight, and we're going through the process of transcribing, which is just similar to translation, but when you translate, that would be to put it in English. To transcribe, we're writing down what we're hearing in the language. And so from this, more work can be done down the road, but we do this as a process of, for me as a language learner, this is how I acquire a lot of languages by, you break down every single word, by the time you get done, because it's a lot of work, by the time you get to the end of a story, you know it quite well, especially if we can go back with Wes or somebody and say, what was this? I don't understand this part right here. What does this word mean? And then lots of times, Wes or somebody will go into depth about more detail around that kind of stuff. So this is, and then we do this on a live stream on Sundays, just as a means of promoting the idea of transcribing as a means for acquiring more language. For if you're a beginner language learner and you're looking to, how do I get more language? It's something we run into very often as language learners. How do we get more language? I've taken a course or a class, or I've got some books or something, but how do I get more? And so this is one of the ways that we'll do that. And when we get the opportunity to work with a speaker, a fluent speaker, especially the one who told us the story, what a magical combination this is, because we get to fumble a little bit through, but then there's that safety net there of, Wes will guide and give us more depth and detail on the interpretation so that we have the correct interpretation of what it is that we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, so we're glad you're here. Gisik, miyasin tagosinian. Yeah, miyasin ma. Let's do a little bit more here. We're going to be going, we usually go for a couple hours, so we got some, let's go for a bit more here.
47 years. Namoyo sa yata natsa.
Namoya utse.
Namoya e u che ayat ana atsa.
Whoops, what did I do here? Let me just refresh. I got a thing going on here. Namoy otse ayat ana atsak, I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
Not 47 years, that soul wasn't there, I guess you'd say.
Yes.
All right.
Uyawe taka kagi paktne.
Uyawik ita kaki pakitenet. In the body into which she was allowed or deposited or something like that.
Originally placed, maybe? Would you put it that way?
Yes, that would be like the original soul.
Gagi, Bagitin, is it Bagitini? There we go. Spelled that wrong for a second there.
Maka kispinega ekta miau ekta hegai.
Oh, I'll grab more of that so we.
Maka kispinega ekta miau.
Ekai ekutta mio. Ekai ekutta mio.
Ekta hegai.
Let's grab a little bit more of this here.
Achak.
And what's this bit?
Ea peteka no ichiget.
A bit. Gonna wait, Sigate. Would you say, however, if there is no spirit to keep that body or look after that body, I guess, present, something like that?
There is no, if the spirit is not present and looking after that body.
Is not present, looking after that body.
Mihchet kigo ihta konento na ke ksiso mananta o ke kapapihto ko ipichet.
Kigwe Kaitugun, I think you said.
Yeah. There are many things that exist that are wandering about looking for a place like that to inhabit.
If you also tuned in last week, we have a little bit different setup, so you don't hear my hammering of keys quite so much this week. So hopefully that's helping out a bit. I noticed it was interfering with, I would try and type while you were talking, but the noise cancellation over Zoom would cause a problem. So hopefully we fixed some of that. I was going to do this, run through this Cree a couple more times just to make sure I get everything.
Mihchet kigo ihta konento na ke ksiso mananta.
Ekuta. Mitsitkigwe.
Mihchet kigo ihta konento na ke ksiso mananta.
Intonax.
Enitonach is looking for.
Oh, nito.
There are many things that exist.
Entona. Yeah.
Mihchet kigo ihta.
Entona.
Mihchet kigo ihta konento na ke ksiso mananta o ke
Exiso mananto. Se.
Kusise oma nantau.
mananta o ke kapapihto ko ipichet.
Like to move in.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a cool word. Okay, let me just listen one more time and make sure I got everything.
Mihchet kigo ihta konento na ke ksiso mananta o ke kapapihto ko ipichet.
Yeah. Got it. And it seems, if you're just tuning in, or it seems repetitive to go through this process, that's actually a really good thing to hear. Well, you think about the process of language acquisition as a child, how many times you hear something before you can actually say it. And how often I think about my little one, or my little ones, they'll come and ask a question about what does this word mean, and they can say the word out loud even though they don't know what it means. The repetition is really good for that, to start getting those words locked in so that we can hear them before we say them out loud.
Ewa kispine namagi
Oh, time to refresh already. Oh, I know exactly what happened there.
ewa kispine namagi go ya tsake ya wat.
Egwa spin magigwe achak ehayat. Is that what you said? Ehaya
What?
ehayawat.
Yeah, what?
If you don't have, but if you don't have a spirit, effectively, or a soul.
Yeah.
A soul present, maybe I'd say. Maybe you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab a little bit more to add on to that one.
Tsake ya wat. E tapasia mo ka teht.
It has been chased away.
Ah,
Muhkatit.
can you say that again?
Tapasia muhkatit.
Wow, what an interesting. Tapasi mo, to flee, gatit. I have to think about that for a minute. Itapasia mo gatit. Huh, what a cool word. It has been chased away. Cool. All right, next chunk.
Nana tohki go ewa ki pihte go agekuta. Nana tohki go ewa ki pihte go agekuta.
Pitaguag. Oh, to enter.
Yeah,
Oh,
kipihtikwa, to enter you.
ah. Huh.
At that time.
Huh. Interesting.
You see, again, there's a difference there where you're saying na tohki koi kipihtikwak is to refer it to you. Maka to say na tohki koi kipihtikwak is referring to a third person that you and I are talking about.
Mm.
Na tohki koi kipihtikwak.
Hmm. Interesting.
Nana tohki go ewa ki pihte go agekuta.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
But that's more directly to you, directed to you. Na tohke kwaki koi.
yeah. Sorry, let me just double check. I got the Cree right here.
Nana tohki go ewa ki pihte go agekuta.
Okay, yeah. And sorry, to it, the interpretation would be like all sorts of things will enter you, will enter you there. Would you say?
At that time.
Mm.
Yeah.
At that time, ego da. At that time, that's interesting. That's a learner shift to, because ego te, ego da are spatial in my mind. Is like ego da, that's a place, but in context, it can refer to a place and time as well, which is really interesting. It's
Which begins to illuminate the multidimensionality of the languages and how they are more than just sound.
yeah,
more than just pieces of sound that have been organized and constructed by a mind.
Mm,
But there is something else that makes them flow and drives them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Giesik says, "Do you have a book?" Not yet. That may come of this work. We just freshly captured these stories, and we're just starting to work through them. And we've talked about that possibility. I imagine that'll come down the road. Um, Not my department though. I'm not the book person, so we'll get to the point where we hopefully get to the end of these stories, and then we'll figure that stuff out. Yeah.
Ewan mamsta he ai makan ma.
Eoguan ma mista he
Ah,
e
mistä
aima.
e aie mahk ewiko.
And that is a difficult position to be in, maybe you'd say.
Yeah. Very difficult.
Just double check like the language.
Ewan mamsta he ai makan ma.
Yeah. All right.
O sampo ke ko haka mamsito toa tsek ki moso mak.
Osam because now kika mamisito tawa chik poko kimosomak. For now you have to depend upon your grandfathers, who in our stories are spirits, are spiritual connections.
Yeah. Let me just get the rest of the Cree there.
O sampo ke ko haka mamsito toa tsek ki moso mak.
Mamasi Dowachik.
To tawachik. Kika
Emo
mamisito tawachik.
Kemosumak. That one. Kemosumak. Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
O ke. Kika bawi tsek.
To help you, to be helped, I guess.
Ugi kika wawai chik for these ones to be prepared.
Ah, Wawehichik.
Yeah.
Kiga Wawehichik. Let me just hear that again.
O ke. Kika bawi tsek.
Ah, okay, yeah, I hear it now. It's funny, we do this all the time with learners when we bring other folks in that are just new to transcribing. And it's interesting to hear something and not know what it is, but then somebody tells you what it is, or you can see it and then hear it again, and it'll be like, oh, I can hear it perfectly now. It's like the brain kind of locks onto the sounds, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
O samo me wi nutun tua kam ga ko mo chim yaom.
Osam oma ewi nutintu ahkamekah, because there is going to be a battle.
How did you say that? Ewinto nutinto.
Ewi nutintu ahkamekah. Not nitau. Nitau would be to go somewhere. This is right now.
Ewinutinto.
Ito, yeah. Ewi nutintu ahkamekah.
Got it. So you say, depend on your grandfathers to get prepared because there's going to be a battle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let me just double check this one more time.
Okay. Kikawawi chik. Osamo mewi nuten tua kamga komo chimiyaoma.
For this body. There is going to be a battle for this body.
Yeah. Wow. Just grab that last bit again.
Kamga komo chimiyaoma.
Oche miyaoma. Okay. Utinto hakameka. Can you say? Hmm. Oh, I see. They want it like this. Utinto. Kamekag. I'll come back to that one. I always try to find the spelling if we can. But yeah, I have to do a second pass on this eventually.
Mi se taisi no. Mana. Moyo che
Let me grab the rest of that.
moyo che so ke tam. Eksisiki koi ki katasi ka. Moyo che so ke tam. Eksisiki koi ki katasi ka.
Sikigwe Kika Tasika.
Mm-hmm.
Long I. Okay, let me take a crack at that. So mi che taisino mana moyo che su ke tamek sisikigwe. So many people don't have the fortitude in that way maybe to take on that kind of task.
Yes, did not have the faith.
The faith.
The moyo just okay. And in those situations, you cannot have any element of doubt. That's where fearlessness comes into play.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is something that has to be constructed piece by piece.
Just gonna run through that one more time and make sure I got everything.
Mi se taisi no. Mana. Moyo che so ke tam. Eksisiki koi ki katasi ka.
That's gonna be like that. And then that would come from that word dasi gum.
To be involved with.
Yeah,
Involved. Yeah.
that could be used in quite a few ways. Though, like if you're just busy with something, like can you say like danse dasi kaman? Like what do you kiwai dasi kaman? What?
What
Oh,
are you
okay.
doing with?
What are you busy with?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's super. So you'd have to say Kigwai because it's more specific. You're busy with something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. To okay. Interesting. All right, let's keep going here.
Osamo che. Namo o che so game so chik.
Moya e ote so game so tick.
Mm-hmm. It was like they doubted themselves because they did not feel they had the power.
Moya ote so game so tick.
Yeah.
Another interesting word. Soke male. Like confidence almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right, let's keep going here.
Kispin sagu hechawa. Kapihte ko ato haisino. Kispin sagu hechawa.
Sago hitse.
If I am defeated by this one,
Ah.
entered this human.
Kispin sagu hechawa.
Oh. All right, what's the next bit?
Kapihte ko ato haisino.
That has entered this human.
Be go hot.
Kapihtikwawat.
Say that again.
Kapihtikwawat. Kapihtikwawat ay sinewa.
I see another. It's so interesting. There's so many ways to like Pihtagwe is in there, but Pihtigwawat. What an interesting word. What's the root of that? Delia. Dance. Pihtagwaweo. Enter where someone is. Enter upon someone. Pihtagwaweo. Pihtagwaweo. What an interesting word. Huh. Let's grab a little. There's more to this, so I'll grab a little bit more here.
Heksan manista. Sagu heche heksan.
I think you said exanmanista.
Ikusan manista. Sago hechikispin. Ekusanma. Meaning I'm done. You don't enter those battles you can't win.
Let me just play that whole thing and make sure I have it right.
Kispin sagu hechawa. Kapihte ko ato haisino. Heksan manista. Sagu heche heksan.
All right, so if I am defeated by this one that has entered this person, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Exanmanista sago hitse exanma. What's the implication there?
You don't come out of there alive. If you don't have powerful spirit helpers, you don't tackle anybody. You see. Because if your spirit helpers are defeated, you're not coming out of there alive.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the
Yeah.
end. The end of. Yeah. Wow.
Pick the wrong fight.
Picked the wrong fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have called an Uber instead.
But often the spirits, if you have spirit helpers, they will tell you.
Mm.
Now, a guy came challenging us and he went singing and we heard him and we heard his spirit helpers telling him not to bother those two
Mm.
or things would go very badly for him. He didn't last 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Because we don't have to do anything. Our helpers do it.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, I puzzled. Just quoi. All right. Next chunk.
Nega se puede estar nista. Ki ai mehtaguan.
Nga sipui tannista.
I also will leave.
What's that second word?
Ki ai mehtaguan.
Ki ai mihtaguan.
Aiman, ai mehtaguan. It was difficult to think about.
Ki ai mihtaguan. Interesting. Let me see if I can find that one. Okay, I'll just flag that one and come back to it. Ai mihtaguan.
Thought
Interesting.
to be difficult.
The thought could be difficult. Cool. Ah, Yapeo from Musquechies. Miasen. All right.
Mugi mito nimsta heka suhke pawamchik. The ones
Mista heka soge
Okay.
pawamachik.
Yeah. Who had powerful dream helpers.
These ones that had, well, I think you're going to repeat that in a second. Let's grab a little bit more out of this one.
mugi mito nimsta heka suhke pawamchik. The ones that had very powerful spirits. Ekunikman.
Those are the ones. Ikonikmana.
Let me just grab that last. There's one more little chunk here. We'll grab that too, because it's kind of the point, I think.
Ekunikman. Kagi bamsito tahtikuma.
The ones you've sought help, relied upon.
Yeah. Relied or depended on.
Ekunikman. Kagi bamsito tahtikuma.
Mamsitu tahtik. There we go. I think because that word mamsito, like I don't know what it is. Sometimes there's words that sound the same, or maybe even they don't even sound the same sometimes, but it's like the wires that get crossed in my mind. And whenever I hear that word, I always think about speaking. I always think about like those are the ones that you would speak to, but that's not the same word. I'm thinking like maybe mom scoot
That's the
them.
same word, but in a different context.
Oh,
Atayohkanakawi mamsito tawag kahpuka soke pawamsik. You know, either the spirits or those who have powerful helpers. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Next chunk here.
Ega ki spinui katski pehtawa ka tayohkanagi maunes kato tigo. Wa.
That first
And
word. Go ahead.
if you have ever heard spirits battling with each other, wah, wah.
Oh, you said egua at the beginning. Egua gispin.
Yeah.
Ega ki spinui katski pehtoa ka tayo kanagi maunes kato tigo wa.
Mone skatotik.
Challenging.
Okay. Sorry, I'll need a couple more passes. Just bear with me.
Ega ki spinui katski pehtoa ka tayo kanagi.
Kipihtoawak.
If you have ever heard kipehtawawak,
Kanagi maunes kato tigo.
E mone skatotik. Challenging each other? Is that how you said that?
challenging or battling,
Mones.
testing each other's power, eh?
They dueling?
It could be. Not usually, though. When the chiefs come in there, the rest clear out.
Mm.
Yeah. Someone will say Thunder Chief is coming, and they'll all leave, man. They don't want to be reprimanded by that one.
Mm. I'll just
Yeah.
play this one more time to make sure I got it right.
Ega ki spinui katski pehtoa ka tayo kanagi maunes kato tigo wa.
Actually, I just bumped up the screen a bit for the watchers. I wonder if it was too small before, but
Se skita gwan se skita gwan a popogo.
would you say is that like shocking or startling maybe?
When it would be shocking, makahmina when it's also sounds. It appears and sounds shocking. I mean, when is just the concept intellectually, but the sounds added to that. When terrifying sounds when spirits battle.
Let me see, just to make sure I have these right. To find and see.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going for a little break.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, that way.
And I'll be back.
Aha.
Eat.
let me just mute. I'll just mute your end until you get back there. On my side, I think if I do it here, there we go. And then se skeita guan. But then the other one was se skita guan, which is, I think those are slightly, I'll just mark that one. And Wes said, sounds shocking, I guess you'd say. Sounds shocking. Yeah. And just double check in case, since we're taking it, or Wes is on a little bit of a break there, I don't want to get too far ahead without him hanging out. Just see if I missed any comments. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I think I'm caught up pretty good actually. Yeah, Mia Sinanma. Cami says pretty cool. So we are streaming on Twitch, I think. which I've been doing for a bit, but yeah, I don't know if there's any other platforms I would stream on. Mostly, I think Facebook and TikTok work good, but I'm glad that these end up on YouTube because if you can't stick around for the whole thing, you can always go back. All of the live streams end up on, um, all of the live streams end up on YouTube, on my channel under the live tab there, which is good for me, especially when Wes tunes in. So I can go back and watch, and with the same thing, there's this thing that happens for me anyway, and maybe it's different for others, but you know, a fluent speaker will be speaking, and my mind will try to latch on to a couple of words, or get stuck on a word sometimes even. Oh, what does that mean? You know, just kind of get stuck there. But then either I hang on to that and miss the rest of what's being said, or I let that go and try to follow the rest of the story. I do that more often now. I just try to stick with the story and see if I can pick up the context. But it is very nice to be able to go back into a recording and re-listen and pick up those words. It's kind of like building a puzzle, eh? It's like if you have like a very large puzzle and you're just slowly filling in the pieces. And sometimes, or for me now, like lots of times I can see the bigger picture in the story, even if I don't have all of the pieces, or some of the words I won't know specifically. But words can have lots of nuance, right? Tapskutso, here, these two words we're looking at right now. Say skeitagwan, say skitagwan. They're just so close, even though they have slightly different meanings, right? So to be able to go back and pick up that nuance is really helpful. Or especially to be able to go back and ask somebody like, hey, how are these words, how are they the same or how are they different? I'm messaging my kid because I'm out of tea. Probably a good opportunity as well. If you're on Facebook or TikTok and you jump over to the link in my bio, if you're just joining us here, these stories are available on or we have a separate YouTube channel. We call it Sweetgrass Stories, a 21st Century Perspective. And you can find that channel, the link in my bio. And we have about, we're just about finished uploading the first week. I think there's 18 stories the first week and almost 20 hours of material. 18, it's a lot, 16 hours, something. There's quite a bit here. The last one I just uploaded to was this today or yesterday? Gagi Simuan. So this one's actually really special in that it's rare to get a prayer on camera or a recording of it. And we approached Wes and said, well, one of the things that he said the first week was people always ask me if I could teach them how to pray. And so we offered tobacco and said, is there a prayer that you would share with us that we can share with people so that they can begin to learn how to pray in the language? And so this is Wes calls it a blueprint. It's a blueprint for a prayer that has a lot of language in there and the structure. And so we just uploaded that. But beyond that, there's funny stories, there's sacred stories, there's teachings, there's quite a bit up there already, and I'm busy working through. We'll get started on the second week right away. And I think I've got somewhere between 60 and 80 stories from Wes so far. And we actually have a little bit more funding, so we're going to get the chance to sit down with Wes and do a couple more weeks worth of recordings. So super excited about that. Just realized if I have Wes muted here, I won't know when he gets back, so I'll just unmute his mic. Yeah, we're pretty excited. So you can catch all of that there. Of course, I have my own YouTube channel where you can find all of the previous live streams, and then of course my website stuff. You can find some of the other tools that we're working on. Yeah, so that I'd share that out. Prairie Ghost, I catch your fiddling and banjo playing. That's pretty cool. Prairie Ghost says, happy to catch Wes live with you today. Yeah, miasin. Glad you could join us. It's pretty awesome. Maybe I'll sneak one or two in before Wes gets back.
Igo mista he te puewen sago will
Here.
Igo mista he te puewen sago will
Deep we win. There's more to this than, so this is a very, looking forward to Wes's interpretation of this, because this is more than just yelling and, or maybe it is. Sagawe. Sagawe is like when you, I guess like, how would you interpret that? A war cry maybe or something? Whenever you go to a singer or something, they're always like, Sagawe. Kind of teasing each other, eh? War whoop, I guess. I wonder if there's more to it than this. Let's grab this last word here.
Igo mista he te puewen sago will Kiswasoen
Anger. I'll let Wes interpret those.
mago tunso squats e magway mochigami.
That's actually one of the things that's different about having Wes here too, is you'll notice on the live stream I don't do the translations. I tend not to interpret. I mean, a little bit, like I'll look up words and maybe take a guess at it or whatever, because it takes a pretty articulate mind, I'll say, an experience in both languages to be able to do that. So I'm grateful. I know some of our teachers have that that gift to be able to speak articulately. Dorothy, Wes, there are others, Sainapan. So I'm not in a place where I feel confident in making that yet. Though it is interesting that I'm in that place sometimes where I'm like, I know what that means in the language, but I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
E wakap ma hoyu astemi chigoge.
Kapmwa why a stimmy tick?
E wakap ma hoyu astemi chigoge.
A stimmy tick. Is that one word? Let's see if we can find that. That's the other thing is we learn that there are more words, many more words than what are in the dictionary because of the complexity of construction. Why-yo-we. There it is. Holy, there's a lot of options here for this one. A stimmy tick. A stimeo. A sitime. I don't know if that's, is that the right word? I don't think that would be pronounced the same. Stim. No. Let me listen to it again. I might be just hearing it wrong.
E wakap ma hoyu astemi chigoge.
Okay. Yeah, we'll ask Wes about that one. Because I'm not sure. Huh.
Namoika kiose mak. Kap ma yu astemi chik.
same word.
Na mo ka kiose mak. Kapmai astimitik.
We a stimmy tick sounds like.
Ego hanaka na tehta na cha kagi wanse. Ego hanaka na tehta na cha kagi wanse.
The one that went after Nakti, the one that was sought for, the one that was sought out.
Ego hanaka na tehta na cha kagi wanse.
Kagi Wanesi was lost, I guess you'd say. That's another thing that's really great about diving into these advanced stories, even though there's advanced language. Arguably, that's a good thing. Even if there's an argument that if we spend all of our time in even just like hanging out with peers that are at the same language level, then we'll just kind of stay there, I guess, if that makes sense. And I guess that's true of anything, right? If we want to be better at, so somebody mentioned that about, so I played music for a long time, and I was asking this really great guitar player, how do you, like feeling stuck, like how do I get past where I'm at? And he's like, just go play with people who are better than you. Find a band where everybody's better than you, right? And you'll get better really fast. And I feel that analogy works the same with language. So I always encourage learners not necessarily just to go hang out with the fluent speaker or necessarily just to dive into advanced material alone, but if you could find a group of people who are, because there's a group of learners for your language, if you can find a group of people who are at I'll say a more advanced level, or who've met some of the challenges that you're working on already, that will fast track you through your language journey really quickly, because it will help with a lot of those hurdles and questions and different things. I jumped ahead on a couple of these, Wes, so I'll just play back and get your interpretation if that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
The last one that we did was se skitaguan, se skitaguan. It appears and sounds shocking, I think is what you said.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Se skita gwan a popogo.
Popogo. What does that mean? Popogo.
Even so.
Even so. All right, next one.
Igo mista he te puewen sa go e wil kiswasoen.
There's an elevated degree of yelling and shouting and fury.
Angry, yeah.
Sufficient amount of yelling and anger. Chris, mananto, nemis, kaya si sa spin, si skita gwen creepy, she says. Yeah.
Bago tun so squats e bago I mo tirani.
I think that's that same word you used before, a maguemo tick. Oh, maybe that one's doing a maguemo tick ange.
Yeah, they were very afraid.
Maguemo tick ange.
E wa ka ma hoi a stemi tigoge.
And as they were being flung out,
Can you say, and as they were being flung out, astimeo? Like, can you say that?
why are we?
Why are
Why
we,
astimeo?
why are we astimeo?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find
Tim,
that.
why are we astimi? Chick, if as they were being flung out of that body.
Okay. Why are we astimitic? And as they were being flung out.
Na mo ka kiose mak. Kapmoy astimitic.
Not all of them immediately were thrown out.
Ego hanaka na tehta na cha kagiwanse.
And the one that was found that had been lost,
Would you say sought out, maybe? Ganatit?
yeah,
Yeah. This is Chris. This is the very first recording we did with Wes when I was in Sweetgrass in August. So there's a few stories here, but this one is effectively possession, I guess you would say. It's pretty heavy stuff. Chris had said, "Kego Atzimuin." Yeah, it's a good one.
He pe o ai no tahet. Ego hiskwe.
Epe Waino Totahe.
nipe waino tahet. They were being returned.
Interesting. That one was being returned. Aha, miotagwan tapwe. I just want to look at this. Why nota heu? So many cool words in this story. Like it's just go back to that. That one was being returned, but to the body specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
Ego hiskwe cha o ta ka suasot egai.
Just let me. Oh, that was the wrong box. Egoist.
Ego hiskwe cha o ta ka suasot egai.
Awaka asua sut.
Mm-hmm. The last one that was within.
Let me grab the next chunk. There's more to that, so.
Egai ekta giat.
That should not have been there.
Gagiayat, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just double check that one. Suasut.
Ego hiskwe cha o ta ka suasot egai. Ekta giat.
And the last one that was in that should not have been there.
Ego ani speak ego mi spai ki ko iwiastimit.
And when the time came for that one to be flung out,
One to be flung out. Let me just get the Cree here. Troy, a guy. Oh, it is noted twice. Yeah. Sometimes let me just listen to it one more time, Troy.
Ego hiskwa tso ta ka swasot egai ekta giat.
Sometimes, even if that's just a habit I picked up from the book. So if the in this case Wes says the word twice, so I'll write it down twice, even though the first time was not really a false start, but because when we speak, sometimes we pause to formulate our thoughts or decide what words we're going to choose. And so, even with a false start, where sometimes the speaker will start with one word and then actually say a different word, I'll still write that in there because that's just the way that's the way that the books we have published, they'll do it that way because it most truly and accurately represents what was spoken. And I think there's more reasons to it than that. It's just a habit I picked up. So if somebody says a word twice, I just put it down twice. Because I mean, I could always take it back out later on if we wanted to.
Ego ani speak ego mi spai ki ko iwiastimit.
Ani speak?
Kwahani speaking at that time, a spike when, and that you could say when the time arrived. At that time, spike, it was to happen, or when the time arrived.
I've never heard that ani speak. Huh.
That's two words, Anna
Oh,
and
Anna.
ispi.
Anna ispi.
And
Egua Anna ispi. Okay, that makes sense. I thought so, but sometimes it's hard to tell the way that words blend together sometimes, or like as a learner anyway. As a speaker, you know what somebody's saying, but like as a learner, it's like, is that one word? Or sometimes a word can sound like just completely like something else and not be right. So it takes a while to develop that.
Ego ani speak ego mi spai ki ko iwiastimit.
Okay, so let me do that again.
Ego ani speak ego mi
Egua epim
Ego ani speak ego mi spai ki ko iwiastimit.
kika why we estimate that same word to be ejected, maybe you'd say.
Yeah.
Got that backwards. Kika. I'll just check it one more time here.
Ego ani speak ego mi spai ki ko iwiastimit.
Yeah.
Ton mayo iwiastimit.
Mitten wayo.
Ton mayo iwiastimit.
At the
Wayo.
exact moment they are being evicted or flung out. Mayo at the exact moment, or
Oh,
at the moment.
mayo. Mayo. Ah. So mayo. So that's wayo. Stimite. Mitten mayo pim wayo we stimite. Let me just double check I got that right.
Ton mayo iwiastimit.
This is one of those things. What's so cool about this is, and I've said this before, Wes, but you've told this story a few times in English as well, so I know the story. And so many times I wonder to myself, how do you say that in the language? So to get into this and see this exact part of the story in the language is so cool, because it's like it's such advanced stuff from my perspective as a learner. At the exact moment that they are being evicted, but exact moment that they are being evicted. Okay.
Ek tahan mam ton se mag mi na pe agwan ki kapin pihte ko eta nagagi se pue.
Oh, there's a little bit more there.
Sipuastimi.
Sipuiastimit, which would be the other way to enter.
So the one that was flung out.
Oh, sipuiastimit.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
When the last one is being flung out that does not belong there, the one that's supposed to be there has to enter at the exact moment that the last one is being evicted from their body.
Ah, okay. Let me
So
run. Sorry, go ahead.
never a moment when that body is empty.
Ah, okay. Let me try and get through this.
Ektahan mam tun semag mi na
Ego ta anma
Anima.
mittunisse mak, I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
Anima. Because this phrasing is, it seems really picky to like pick out all those little bits, but the phrasing is so important, the way that you phrase it, right?
ektahan mam tun semag mi na
Mina.
semag mi na peagwan ki kapmpi te kweta na
Peguan.
At the exact moment.
Piteguit. Piteguit. There's an H there. Egutan ma mittunisse mak mina peguan ki kapmpiitaguit.
peagwan ki kapmpi te kweta na kagi sipuastimi.
Anna Gagi Sipwe. Would you say Gagi Sipwe asked to meet like that left, or would that, yeah, the one that had left originally, right?
Well, they got flung out. They
got-
didn't. Yeah.
Okay. And so egotaan mamitone simak mina peaguan ki kapmpita na Gagi Sipwe asked to meet. That that one that had been thrown out, would you say originally,
Mm-hmm.
must enter at the same time? Okay.
Has to be the exact same moment that
The just grab the rest of that.
one gets the rest get tossed out.
Okay.
And that one that belongs here to come back in.
Okay. So you framed that for us nicely afterwards, anyway.
Eksuta
No, let me go back.
and that one that belongs here to come back in.
To come back in. Okay. We got about 15 minutes left here before we start to wrap up. We'll just go a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. Eksuta ngita kam sinano. Wa. Yeah. Eksuta ngita kam sinano. Wa.
We did that here.
Ita kamksin.
That's what we did here.
Pisa here so yak.
We were inside.
What was that second word?
I say, what's we
Pisa here so yak.
Why? Can you say it again?
Asiwasoyak.
Was.
Asiwasoyak.
Huh. Say. Let me just see if I can find it quick. I don't know if I've ever heard that word before.
Try asiwata.
Asuwat.
Asi.
Ase.
Yeah. Asiwata.
Yeah. Asu. Okay, I'll come back to it. There's too many words to try and look through in the dictionary, so I'll come back to that one. We were inside. Is that how you interpreted that?
Mm-hmm.
We were.
Bisay atiwasoyak. We were inside.
Okay.
No muin tuohkaks kehteen tan se mai
Mointo gesketin.
I did not know.
Let me grab the rest of that so we can get it in one chunk.
ai snago tege a ko maganika wi hekta hoi wite me ke gia pet.
I did not know how it appeared, but my mother was sitting outside.
Hmm. All right, let me get the rest of the Cree there.
No muin tuohkaks kehteen tan se mai
Danse.
ai snago tege a ko
Isinagotigeyak.
Appeared or appearance?
Hmm.
snago tege a ko maganika wi
We.
hekta hoi wite me ke gia pet.
Vajoitamik. Egota egiapit. I just want to look up that one word, isinagotigeyak.
Try isinagwan.
Yeah, isinagotigeo shows up. Yeah, how something appeared or what the appearance of things were, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Isinagotigeo. Huh, that's an interesting word. Why wheat to me? Okay.
Ki tahto ei ka pehtävä, mä tönema tyym simaatot.
Kitatue.
At one time, I heard her
Misimatot, I think you said.
crying loudly.
Ki tahto ei ka pehtävä, mä tönema tyym simaatot.
Pituak.
I heard.
Yeah.
Ka pehtävä, mä tönema tyym simaatot.
Mitone matwe misimatot. I think that's all of it. Let me just check it one more time.
Ki tahto ei ka pehtävä, mä tönema tyym simaatot.
Yeah.
Tönema tyym sigaa kiisi motuma.
Praying loudly, praying hard.
Mamo tawi mau. Egay pakit na.
Ikay pagitan na.
Mm-hmm. And in that context, it would mean do not allow.
I'll just add a bit more to this one so it's all in one chunk. Just play that here.
Kikasagu hihtigugin to asim sinanak.
To be overcome.
To be defeated, overcome. Do not allow our children to be defeated, overcome.
Let me just run through it one more time and make sure I have everything right.
Mamo tawi mau. Egay pakit na. Kikasagu hihtigugin to asim sinanak.
Itawa simisinanak. Okay.
No simnanak. Miugi gway tap to epitasika kik.
Miyogi gwe gap. I think you said.
No simnanak.
Sorry, say it again.
Tapitaw.
Oh, tapito. Always?
Usually.
No simnanak. Miugi gway tap to epitasika kik.
Ah, epe tasika kik. So would you say, do not allow our children to be defeated or overcome, our grandchildren for good things for them to be busy with, involved with, good things to.
Well, actually, what we said was they are usually involved in good and positive things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ah, they are usually involved in good. It's the tricky part of phrasing to figure this stuff out. Let's do a couple more. We're just about coming up on time here.
Mio no te kisi squega poutik.
Mionok ite to like to a good place, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Towards a
Or
good
in a
place?
good direction.
In a good direction.
They are standing or they are facing.
Mio no te kisi squega poutik.
It is squigaboitic.
Esage haya cook.
We love them.
Mm-hmm.
Esito skoya kuguta homagao tapiano may pesito sko. Esito skoya kuguta homagao.
Sitoskoayak.
Esito skoya kuguta homagao.
Oge. Ota. Oma.
Esito skoya kuguta homagao tapiano may pesito.
Whoa, tapian. Where I is that? Are you saying like where I have a seat or where I'm sitting?
Where I sit.
Where I sit.
E sito skoa ya kukuta ho magao ta piano mai pe sito skoa
Oma e pe sitoskoak. We'll just finish this. There's one more little chunk. We'll finish this one. I think we'll leave it there today.
e pe ka gisimusta mo agik.
E pegagisimo stamoagik.
Kiti magi tawin. Kiti magi tawik.
Listen to me with compassion.
Would you say for that one there, oh, well, we didn't do the translations on these. Let me back up a little bit. So
E sagi haya kuk.
We love them.
we love them.
E sito skoa ya kukuta ho magao ta piano mai pe sito skoa.
We support them. From where I sit, I have come to support.
Come to support, that makes sense.
E pe ka gisimusta mo agik.
I
Kiti
have
magi
to pray.
And then get the magito in, hear my prayers with compassion.
Mm-hmm. Or you could say, listen with compassion.
Listen with compassion. Amazing. Amazing. Wow, I think we were at about 19 minutes. I've just about covered 5 minutes of this tonight. That's pretty amazing. It goes to 27. We're at 24. So we only have 3 minutes left in this. I can't wait to go back. I talked about this last week or we've been working on this for a couple of weeks. But how excited I am to get through this story. And now I'm going to go back through on my own for the parts that we've done and do a second pass, clean things up and try and find the words in the dictionary, that the ones that I missed, or flag the rest of them or whatever. But to just listen a few more times, because I said this before, but like in the very beginning, I feel like I had so little language. Even though there were pockets of this story that I understood coming into it, there was so much that I didn't get the first time, and there's just so much great language in here. So that's pretty fantastic. We're going to, if you're just tuning in, we're just going to wrap up there. We usually go for about 2 hours. And again, if you missed our live tonight, you can always go over to YouTube and catch the replay on my YouTube channel. We're really grateful to have Wes Fineday with us here tonight. And once again, if you click on the link in my bio, you can find our project, Sweetgrass Stories, the 21st Century Perspective. We've got almost the entire first week of recordings uploaded. There's hours and hours of recordings there. And I think 18 stories from the first week, including a prayer, which is fantastic. So we'll be getting to that one soon. I actually can't wait to... I'm like, let's just skip the rest and just go straight into the prayer and start talking about that one. Because there's going to be lots of good language in there, and I know we'll have some folks tuned in for that. So, yeah, so we'll just leave it at that tonight. I mitinin mi uite na uta kap atoskata makuta omuta a timu inpeak. I'm really excited to have everyone here tonight working with us. Thank you again, Wes. It's been really great to have you. We'll hope to have you back again next week. And we're going to drop the live there tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Mio tips kansik. And we'll catch you again next week. Okay. Everybody have a great night. Moestas.